All right, and we are back. All right, resuming. I'm just gonna post here. Resuming now. This is a different link. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So resuming now. So where I left off. Yeah. What was I doing when I left off? First of all, I'm going to turn notifications off. Okay. So what was I doing? So I was onto something. I remember that. I remember being onto something. And right, Blake from Slack gave me sort of a big hint, which was that we should sort the rules by, or we should try to explore the rules in increasing order of how many possible slots they're valid for. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get sorted rules. So I remember this worked for that input and it didn't really work for this input, and I'm wondering why. So like for the main input, and this is sort of what log sorted rules is giving me. Okay, so let's take a look at sorted rules, the sorted rules function. And let's see what we're doing here. So we're getting the number of values. This is just the length of the array. I mean, this is actually minus 1. No, that's the max. The max is number. This is the number of values. Okay, but so that would be up to and not including number of values. Okay, so we're sorting the rules, sort by, and then we've got rule. I don't feel like maybe this isn't correct what we're doing sort by here. So I'm not making a lot of sense right now. There's this thing back. All right, let's find underscores sort by and make sure that we are using it correctly. Sort by. All right, here we go. So sort by at the array, and then we take a function. It takes a function, and okay, so sort by, and so it can take either the string name of the property sort by, e.g. length, or the function uses operator. So we could actually sort by. We had this function earlier in the first part. Find invalid values. So we want to do something like that here, and I think that's basically what we were doing here. Is so we're initializing a value to 0, and then for index in 0 to num values, what we're doing is we're looking at all the tickets. We're trying to find out the number that they were valid to. So let's yeah, so let's assign this to tickets length. So this is going to be the number that are currently valid, and we're going to subtract a valid one if we find one where it's not valid. So if tickets find, okay, so if this returns anything, we're going to subtract one, and then we're going to end up with the number that they're valid for, and we're going to log the rule name and the number they're valid for, and then we're going to return that. So let's see what this gives us. So this is definitely, oh, it's not the number of tickets that we want, it's the number of ticket values. So this was correct. So, okay. And then what are we getting here? So we're getting, no, this is just not correct at all. So tickets, and so for index in, right, 0 to number values, tickets find. So maybe it's tickets find. Maybe this is not working. Let's take a look at JavaScript array find. Okay, array prototype find returns the value of the first element in the provided array that satisfies testing. So element. We can also do find index. Okay, so what we want here is we want to find invalid property or invalid ticket if invalid ticket. So let's log invalid ticket and see what it gives us. So wow, it's a lot of output. So ticket, so it's found an invalid ticket. And yeah, let's not log sorted rules. Let's just let it do the logging. So this is weird. I feel like let's log res here. So res starts at 20, and if it finds any tickets, so it looks through tickets for a ticket where the rule is not valid, and then t.values index. So let's log index here, and we'll log. Let's map this, and let's tickets.map t, and we'll say rule num valid not rule num valid, and let's log the result of that, and we'll join that with a comma. Oh, it's angry about that because it's not a string. There you go. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's super annoying. So false, 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 true, 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 true. Where am I? I'm supposed to be here. Okay. So, okay, instead of joining it with a comma, so that's going to map through all the tickets, and it's going to find out if it's not valid. So it looks like this is going to be false, 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 16, true. Whoops. I guess what we want is that, and then let's just make a new file and paste them in here. True. So, okay, so this is not valid because it has a mix of valid and invalid. This one is the same. So this has one valid here. I think most of these are going to have just one that are valid. So that was that. And then this is the wrong file. So I guess what we can do is we want to know if true is in that. Oh, yeah, no, I thought someone was in the chat. Wrong chat. I'm confused. Okay, so where are we now? Right, okay, so tickets map. So num valid, not num valid would mean that it is so is the number valid? And the number valid that we're checking is this ticket values at this index. Because, okay, we're checking these one index at a time. So let's let's log here if it's an invalid ticket. Not tickets find. So let's log index and invalid ticket. Valid. Okay. All right, so here we go. So the number 20, so this is index. No, that's not the index. That is tickets length. So it's valid for most of these, or it's invalid for most of these, and it's not valid for one of them. So res minus equals 1 if it's invalid. So this should leave us with 1. And then it's leaving us with 0. Oh, maybe, you know what? Because we want to be in 1 up to and including num values. So most of these are invalid only in a couple. Okay. Interesting. So maybe that was the problem right there. Okay, let's remove the logs. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll log the sorted rules. So the sorted rules, arrival station, arrival track, price, route, seat. Okay, these are coming back in a different order now. So that's cool. So let's see what we get here with the test input. We get seat class row. And then if we log the rule map, we get row class seat. So we want to, so this is the number valid. We want to sort by number valid. Seat class row and row class seat is the sorted. So it's sorting by that. Yeah, wait, log rule map. Seat class row, and it's row class seat that we want. And is that what they were? Oh, this is a different input though. This is the first input. Still, I think it's the same. Where did we look at it? We were looking at it here. Row class seat. Class row seat. Class row seat is what we want. So class row seat. And the rules, I think in this case, were defined as class row seat. So row class seat is how it's coming back. Well, what we can do is we can try it. So instead of, right, what was the assertion here? That's error rate. Yeah, let's look at the assertion here. So nearby tickets, based on the nearby tickets, you can conclude that in your tickets, class is 12 row and seat is 13. Once you work out which is which field, look for the 6 fields in your ticket. Okay, so class row seat. Nearby tickets, the first position must be row, yes. Second position must be class, yes. And the third position must be seat, yes. Okay, cool. So that's good. We're getting the positions back correctly. So we want row class seat. Okay, so we want to first, second, third equals rule map that, and we want to assert that row is first, second, third, and this is class C. So these are the assertions to make sure that this is actually finding the right answer. And it is good, okay. We're logging sorted rules still, which we don't want to do. Okay. And then here we want to log the sorted rule, or we want, what we probably want is we want the rule map. And let's log the rule map. So this might take a while. Okay, so yeah, we're at 1 million. So sorted rules, rules tickets. So this is still giving us the wrong, I mean, it's giving us the wrong rules here. It's giving them to us in the default order rather than the sorted order. So let's say sorted rules. Let's log that. Oh, that's that one. Log sorted rules, rules tickets, and see what it gives us back. So the first one of these is arrival station, arrival track, and that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing the departure stuff, and they're later on. Let's just log these up at the top, just so we can verify. Okay, so class is 3, row 3, yeah. Arrival stuff, these arrivals are 1, so they should be sorted before the other ones. And then we can try them and rule them out quickly. I think that's how that works. What we would do is I guess what we want to do is, I mean, none of these are valid for a particularly large number of positions. So what we could do is we could calculate the indexes at which these are valid. That's probably what we want to do, rather than just passing them in order of how frequently they'll need to change, because then we'd just be naively shuffling them anyway. So I think that's what we want to do. So let's make a thing here for rules. So valid indexes, and we're going to take in an array of tickets, and what we want to do is we want this, but we want to so valid indexes. Okay, so indexes equals empty array. Right. Okay, so if it's not valid, unless not that, then indexes dot push idx. Okay, and then we don't care about this stuff. Unless, so tickets find, and this is itself the rule. So we're just going to call num valid like that. So this is going to have to be bound. Let's find this just in case. Okay. Num valid t values index. So valid indexes for all tickets, and then we're going to return indexes. Okay, cool. So at this point, what we can do is we can go through all the rules, and we can insert a copy of the rule at each index. And then we can, so at this point of the rule at each index, and then we can try that. And that's what we'll do. So valid index, let's call valid indexes on all the rules. Cool. And let's do that. In fact, we can get rid of these, because what we want to do is we want to say for rule in rules, we'll call rule dot valid indexes for tickets. Yeah. And we'll log rule dot name and then that. Okay, num values is not defined. So, oh, num values is actually that. Okay. So class and row are valid for 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Seat is valid for 2. So that doesn't make any sense. Because 1, 0, and up to and not including. So, okay, so class is valid for 1 and 2, row is valid for O, 1 and 2, and this is valid for 2 only. So this must be O, this must be 2, and this must be 1. So, okay. And then, so then what we'd want to do is we'd want to construct an array of rules that we want to try in each position. So in this case, row would be the only row, it would be the only rule that we wanted to try in that position. Seat would be the only rule that we wanted to try in the last position. And then we could try all 3 of them, or we could try either one of these 2 in the second position and in the 1 position. So I think that's where we want to go. So we've got valid indexes based on all the tickets. And what we could do is I don't think it takes that long to construct these. So what we could do is for every field in the ticket, we could check all the rules to see if valid indexes includes that index. And that's what we'll do. So rule map, we're already doing this. So this has got a cache, which we probably don't need anymore. And it's got rules and it's got a map. And the map is an array of the ticket values. Okay, so for entry, index, in map, so this is where we can filter them for entry. For rule and rules, when rule dot, what do we call it? Valid indexes, where indexes tickets. So we want where index in. Cool. So this should cut down the number of iterations that we're doing. So let's try this. So that logged these things, and let's see. And we don't need to do this in valid check anymore. So then we recreate this and we go new rules, new map, cache. We're not using the cache anymore, so we can just get rid of that. And get rid of cache, get rid of this cache. Okay, and we'll log every 10,000 loops right now. Okay, just to see what it's doing. How about we log every 1,000 loops? Let's try that. Is it doing anything? Rule map. Okay, get out of there. Okay, so departure. I guess what we should do is before we run it on the big one, let's run it on the little one. So rule map, let's log rule map, row class seat. And is that what we wanted from earlier? God, I cannot remember. Row class seat. Yeah, okay. So it's giving us the correct rule map. And let's log loops anyway. So this did 4 loops. Okay. And then, so what if we try to do that, but, oh, do we still need sorted rules? I guess it doesn't matter if we do sorted rules, because we're just maybe we don't need sorted rules. Okay, so it's doing a lot of iterations. So what if we do use sorted rules? Let's try with sorted rules. It's still doing a lot of iterations. Rule map, valid tickets, sorted rules. And I guess what we want to do is let's actually log map join. Actually, here let's just log it every 100, or let's log it every 50. There we go. So it's still doing departure first. What the hell? It should be doing the arrivals first, because those are the rules that we're passing in. So rules, rule map, tickets, rules, and map. So, and then when we do this, wait, tickets, rules, map. Oh my God, do I have this backwards? I think I have this backwards. So valid tickets. Oh, it's the wrong rules. Valid tickets. Oh, I've been updating this wrong rules thing the whole time. Oh my God. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, row class seat. That's what we wanted. Oh, if that's it, I'm gonna freak out. Rules, tickets. Yeah. Okay, so let's try that. No, it's okay. So it's coming back in a different order now. Departure. Yeah, it's still doing a lot of iterations, but at least it's going in a different order. So it's taking valid tickets and sorted rule. I don't know. I don't even know if it needs valid tickets. I think it can just take tickets at this point. So log rule map, valid tickets, and then sorted rules with rules and tickets. Sorted rules takes rules and tickets. Okay, and this gives us back rules in this order. So sorted rules. So sorted rules. I wonder if sorted rules is coming back in the wrong order. So let's take a look. Although it doesn't even matter if sorted rules. I think it shouldn't matter if sorted rules comes back in the same order, because when we're doing this rule map should go through every entry. So that's X number of, like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, it's like a dozen or what, so many numbers on the ticket. And then it goes through the rules when index is in the rule valid indexes for tickets. So let's log index and rule valid indexes tickets. And see what this is giving us. So 18 is in here, 19 is in there, 19 is in there. So wow, these valid indexes, these are giving us a lot of valid indexes. So I guess what we want to do is also we want to sort them by the number of valid indexes. So maybe that's what we should do, is we should sort. So rules sort by rules. Sort by rule. So sort by rules valid rule.valid indexes. Okay, so for tickets, and we're gonna sort by length, and we want to sort by ticket values length minus that. So, or no, we want to sort ascending. So we want to sort by. Okay, whoops. Let's give that a try. Come on. Hi. come on, wake up. There you go. So really this is just a one-liner here. So sort by rules, and the rule valid indexes tickets length. So we want to sort by the number. So we want the lowest number first. And let's see if that still works. Row class seat. And this says row class seat. So this is still giving us row class seat. That's good. And so let's try it. Let's log sorted rules here. And then valid indexes. Yeah, okay, so for our in sorted rules, let's put, or log puts r dot name and r dot, is it valid indexes tickets length. So that's not correct. So valid indexes is giving us 0 for some of these, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So valid indexes. Why is valid indexes not giving us the right number? Where's valid indexes? So for indexing 0 up to num values, I mean, there we go. Indexes push index unless unless tickets find invalid. Unless tickets find invalid for the value at index. Okay, so that's still giving us the same number. It's still giving us the right amount. In fact, I should probably just delete that and just assert these. So first is not defined. I guess I need that. Okay, so that's still working. But why are the number of indexes here not 1? That's the real question. Why is this reporting 0? So then, so for our in sorted rules tickets, I guess what we can also do is we can just for our in rules and see if it gives us a different answer. It doesn't. It just doesn't sort them. So yeah, what the hell? So this is an empty array, and then we push the index unless it finds one that's not valid for this rule. So so the number is valid. So this number, this value here is valid. Then and then it returns indexes. Well, let's log name and indexes. Okay, so departure location for arrival station 0. So like, yeah, some of these do have 0 valid indexes, but that doesn't make any sense. So for the IDX in, this is probably easier. So give me the same thing. So log name indexes, and then this is giving us the length of them. So for 4. All of these seem to be valid for 4 of them, which doesn't seem right. Or for number 4, which doesn't seem right either. Okay. And then price is never valid, apparently. It's not valid for any of them. What are the price rules? Did I import the rules wrong? I don't think so. Parse input hasn't changed. Let's log tickets first. Or can't do that in JavaScript. Okay. Ticket. So these are the values of ticket. And so now for every rule, so every rule agrees that 471 is or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 282 is valid. That seems weird. So I feel like this valid index is just wrong somehow. So tickets find not some valid, none valid. So we want, I guess what we want is just invalid for num, and that would be not num valid. And this should be valid for. Let's make that valid for. Okay, valid for this number. Invalid for is not valid for num. So return true if num in the first range, which is that, or if num is in the second range. Okay. Or return false. Okay. That's valid for. We're still getting the same crap. So class row, sheet, class row, row. Oh. Well, that's weird. Let's get rid of a bunch of these. Okay, we'll just do that one. Okay. So, what is it saying? So 4 is coming back as the only valid choice for a lot of these. And why is that? So tickets values. So for a value and the index in tickets values. So this is just giving us like the number of values basically. Indexes push index unless in all of the tickets we find one that is invalid for this number, which is the current ticket that we're looking on at the index that we're looking at, and then log name indexes. So what the hell? Departure location? Why are these all coming back with 4? This is just so fucked. It's always coming back with 4 or an empty array. Okay. So if we find one that's invalid, else. Okay, let's log. Okay, so unless, then, so we find an invalid one, name invalid, name comma, index invalid, else name valid. Okay. So we're getting a lot of valids. Okay. So departure location is valid for everything except number 4. What is so what's tickets for valid? Yeah, like what the hell? Why it's always saying that 4 is, so if unless it's invalid, so, oh, this would be valid and this would be invalid, and this would be up here. Okay, so departure O location is invalid, so that equals, and I'm going to, if res, I'll say res not valid, log at name res not valid, num. Let's try this. Else, whoops, valid, and then we'll return res down here. It's going to be just so much. Okay. Okay, so res. Right, this is going to be not valid. Valid. Okay. So, okay, come on. Let's go back up to the beginning. So departure location is valid, 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 valid. So this is saying it's valid. Departure location 6 is not valid. So that means so if not valid, not valid. So departure location 6 is not valid. So that means that the departure location rule for the value 6 is not valid. And that's, why is that? Departure location starts at 36, so it's not valid. But departure location 0 is also not valid. 274 is valid. And then departure location 983 is not valid because it's beyond the scope of this. Okay, so I mean, this part of it at least seems to be working. Okay, so I'm going to remove all that logging. So maybe it's this tickets find thing that's not working. So for index in tickets values, we don't actually care about the first tickets values. So unless tickets find, so this departure location has a mix of valid and invalid. Invalid for, so that's this rule is invalid. So we want to find any that are invalid. So sum equals some are invalid. So we'll just say invalid here. Unless, so if invalid, we'll log that name and that index as invalid. Otherwise, we'll push it into the indexes. And okay, here we go. So up to the top. So departure location at O is valid for number 4. Departure station is valid for number 4. They're all valid for number 4. What the fuck? This is so weird. Yeah. Anyone watching, if you have any tips for me, I would love to hear about them in the chat. I don't understand why the fifth entry in the array in the array of tickets always seems to be valid, but everything else is invalid. Like, why would that be? And sometimes it's not. Route is always invalid. Again, number 5 is invalid. What is it about ticket number 5? Let's take a look. So that would be 0, 1, or no, ticket. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5. Or is it value 5? It's value 5 that always seems to be valid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And or is it ticket 5 that's always valid? Yeah, let's take a look. Valid tickets rules. Ticket valid rules. So that's rule valid for number, and then ticket valid rules. Okay, well, let's check here. So res equals if res, so that means it's invalid. We'll say is dot join. Let's just inspect the values. Log invalid, and this is the index. I guess what we want is we want to log name. Why do I have this here? Log name invalid, and let's check t.values index. Okay, so that's the value. So departure location invalid 6, location 0 is valid. Oh, that's weird. So we got these logs as well. Let's just stop. So let's just leave the if invalid, if so unless invalid. We'll push those. Okay. So come on, back to the top. That are logging. So departure location invalid, 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 invalid. Okay. I guess we're not doing else. Log valid. Okay. Whee, back up to the top. Coming. There you go. So valid, 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 valid. So it's invalid for the number 6. Yeah, we knew that. Oh, this is just basically what we were doing earlier. Departure location, it's mostly valid. Like 361, departure location. Yeah, I mean, these are mostly valid. Okay. Invalid 12. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. This makes sense to me. Okay, so valid indexes. And let's get rid of these logs. Unless invalid indexes, and let's log indexes name indexes dot join. So let's log these. So really this only added, I mean, is it the word indexes? Lols. Nope, it's not. So indexes, invalid, not. Yeah, it's still finding just one index that they're all seemingly valid for. This just feels wrong. There's definitely something wrong here. So you pass in a rule and you try to find, okay, so what do we have? We have a rule and we want to know what ticket indexes it's universally valid for. So we go through all the tickets and we test the 0th and we see if there are any that it's invalid for there. So maybe, so it seems like every time we are, it seems like every time we do this, we're finding that the 4th one is valid and that the rest are not. But not every time, just sometimes. And like sometimes we're getting 0. Which is totally screwed up. That doesn't make any sense to me. So we're passing in these tickets. Is it about the tickets that we're passing in? So valid tickets. Maybe valid tickets is something. No, R log. Our name. Like, we don't need to do that. What are we trying to find? Valid indexes. Yeah, that is. Okay, let's just do the first one. Rules first dot valid indexes. For tickets. So it's passing at 4 length. Okay, log. Oops. So departure location 4. But if we do this for any of them, it's coming back with basically the same shit. Departure station. So let's go through, okay, valid indexes, tickets. So indexes, okay, so what we want to do is we want to see if the ticket is valid for the rule. So let's just try a different approach. Let's just comment those out for right now. Valid indexes, what we can do is we can say tickets dot map. We're going to take in a ticket and we're going to say ticket dot valid for where is it? Ticket valid for these rules. So we want to say valid and this rule. And let's see what that gives us. Cannot read property valid for if undefined. Okay. Right. Okay. So how many tickets are there anyway? There's like, okay, where we start at 27 and we go all the way down to 271. So there's a couple hundred tickets. So is this rule valid for, let's try to unique those. So unique, we'll have to pull in from underscore. Unique. All right. So false true. Okay. So rules So for rule in rules, we'll call rules. We'll log over that log rule dot valid indexes. So none of them are valid. Is that what we're saying? So none of the rules are universally valid. That doesn't make sense either. Valid rules, okay, for num in values, validities equals rules map. I guess this is kind of a waste too, that we're mapping through all these things. What we want to do is we want to rules find rule valid for num. No, we don't. Never mind. Map. So we want to find that, and we return false unless, I guess, yeah, unless true in validities. We want to just rules find valid for num. And we want to return if it's valid. Return true if, and then otherwise we'll false. No, I think we just fucked this up. Well, we can't fuck it up much worse than it is right now because it's pretty broken. Well, let's put it back for a second. So valid. Okay, so this is giving us only trues, which means that everything's valid, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So yeah, okay, let's go back. Log. Okay, so what were we doing? Valid indexes. So we want to find out if all the tickets are valid. So we want to find out if every. So we want to find every tickets, and then the ticket is valid for this rule. And that's if it's valid, not valid indexes, right? So we want, so tickets map. So we want to filter by that. Tickets filter. No, we don't want to filter. we want to track the indexes. Is what we want. We want a list of the indexes, which is what we were doing. For underscore index in tickets. We want to IDX for when what is saying tickets find. So this is actually going to do the find for us when valid for T dot values dx. I think this is what we want. And what does this give us? This gives us everything all the time. Okay, so this isn't great. So valid for return true if no, and what is this? This is a rule. Okay, so if the rule tickets length. There's already 245 tickets. So valid for return true for T index in tickets. When valid for T values index. Where's ticket? Ticket values index. When valid for, so when the rule is valid for T values index. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it's giving me, so there's 20 values. Is that true of these? There's always 20 values. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's saying that all of these values are here all the fucking time, which is absolutely not true. I guess maybe we're not. So this is giving us the ID of tickets, not of values. So yeah, okay. Yeah, we want to find it for all tickets. Okay, let's think about this some more. Okay, so what are we doing here? What are we doing? We are going to, so we're looking for a list of indexes that are valid. So the tickets are coming in, and each ticket has 20 numbers. So for let's hard code it for now. I in 0, 19. So let's just log I and bam. Okay, so 0 through 19. Okay, so for I in 0 to 19, what we want to do is we want to figure out if there are any invalid ticket values for T in tickets. Whoops, for T in tickets. And what we want to do is we want to make sure every T, if every T or every ticket is valid for the rule. Num in values. No, see, that just goes through all the values. What we want to do is we want to see if this is valid for, so if every valid for, and we want to T dot values I. So log, so we're going to log I. Okay, so this is giving us a lot of crazy shit. So let's return if. Oops. So that gives us 0. If every valid for, so that would say that valid for if num is in the range, it's in the first range, or if num is in the second range. Okay. And every means that they all should be true, I think. So let's check that out with underscore. Every collection is every returns true if all the values in the list pass the predicate truth test. Stops traversing the list if a false element is found. So every list predicate. Okay. And it short circuits, so that's nice. So return, so yeah, okay, so basically we're going to have this return value of an empty array, and we're going to ret push I if it's valid, and then we're going to have ret. So valid for, and where are these coming from? Ret push I. This logging. Oh, okay. We're logging that. We're just going to call rule. Okay. So let's. Oops. If it's valid for every value. If every. So I guess what we want is we want tickets. I think what we want, okay, every valid for, this is always going to give us true. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So, okay, so what we want is we want tickets dot map t and then t I. So I should really call this index because that's what I've been doing. Okay, so if right, this is what we want to do. If every valid for t index, t values index, and if every then ret push I. Okay, what is this? I is IDX. So, okay, this, and let's log IDX as well. Okay, so 4. It's always 4. It's always fucking 4. What the hell? Something is definitely screwed up. And I don't understand what it could be, because no matter how I approach this problem, I'm always getting, like, either index 4 is the one that works for everyone, or it's none of them that work for everyone. That just seems just wrong. Why is it index 4 every time? Valid for t values 4. Very confused by this. This is not. It's probably something. Pretty simple in tickets first values. So for whatever index in that should give us the same output, and it does. Tickets values else log, so I'll just say valid, and then this can be log invalid. I'm just going in circles here. So it's always just, oh, it's always invalid except the fourth one. The fourth one is always valid for some friggin' reason. I wish I understood why, and I do not. Okay. Is it tickets that's wrong? So tickets. So are the tickets valid tickets? So valid tickets. I guess we could do valid tickets, rules tickets. So we could say tickets equals valid tickets, rules tickets. And then this gives us log. Oh wow, maybe it was because some of the tickets were invalid. So maybe that's what it is. But still, this is giving us a lot of valid IDs to be checking. I mean, some of these are only valid in certain places. My God, it was probably the stupid valid tickets bullshit, rules tickets. Let's try this, where tickets is now always valid tickets. Let's see just how long this takes. Okay, so this is actually giving us a rule map back. Holy shit. Okay, so that was much faster. And we are using sorted rules. So what if we use just rules? Is this very slow? Yeah, it goes on forever. Okay, sorted rules. So sorted rules is definitely what it wants. Okay, so we've got a rule map. Holy shit. Rule map. God damn. Okay. I feel like, yeah, like my head is not happy at the moment. I guess we want to keep some of these. We'll figure that out later. Okay, so what do we got now? Sorted rules. We don't care about all that stuff. We're just sorting by the number of valid indexes. Okay, and we don't need that log anymore. We don't care about loops anymore because we're not logging them. Map. I don't know that we need this map thing, but whatever, we'll keep it for now. Still giving us that. Valid indexes. Whoops. We'll push that. Okay. And somewhere in here, we're logging all of these things. So let's get rid of that. We're logging that. Okay. So this gives us our map in order: departure track, seat, arrival station, departure data. Okay. So, holy shit. All right. What do they even want? I don't even know what they wanted. Based on nearby tickets, the above example, the first position must be row. Okay. You can conclude that in your ticket, class is row. Okay. Once you work out which field is which, look for the 6 fields on your ticket that start with the word departure. So we want to find the index of every element that has departure in it. And multiply those 6 values together. So, okay, so we got map equals rule map, and then for entry in map when departure, is it this or is it the other way? It's like test entry. I guess what we want to do is we want to entry index. What we want to do is we want to say, okay, so the val, so memo equals 1, and we'll say memo times equals ticket dot values index, and then log mo. Okay, and this is the number that we're getting. So let's see if this is even correct. If this is correct, then we can refactor. That's the right answer. Okay, cool. Okay, so okay. So we get this map, and okay, so this has to become a function basically. So we want, so we've got this the rule map, and what we want to do is we want, do they have a name for this? 6 fields on your ticket, so departure fields, and that's going to take in a ticket and a map. It's not going to take in a ticket and a map. It's going to take in rules, tickets, ticket. Let's just take the same goddamn stuff in departure fields. So rules, tickets, ticket. And so we'll get, so tickets equals valid tickets. So we only want valid tickets, and then we'll get the map. And then what we can do is we can get field departure fields. So we can get departure indexes equals yeah, oops, departure indexes equals index for entry index when departure in map. Okay, so this will give us the departure indexes, and then what we want is we want the departure field or departure fields, or this should be departure values, and this can be ticket values. So ticket dot values IDX for IDX in departure indexes. So departure values, and then we'll want to reduce that. So we'll want to reduce departure values. So departure product equals, and we'll take these things in. Departure product. So we'll get departure values with these things, and what we'll do is we will reduce and we'll take in memo equals 1. This is the same thing we're doing for, like, got this like add array or whatever that we were using. Yeah, sum array. We'll do product array as well. So this can just be product. So sum array, it's gonna be mult array. Array reduce memo equals 1, value equals 1, memo times val. Okay, and then that way we can just say mult array. So departure product. So log departure product for rules, ticket, tickets. Should be 376 whatever. Yeah, let's get rid of all these things. 376 whatever. And it is 376 whatever. Okay, so this is departure product, and then we can actually just replace that with parse input. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is our departure product. So our departure product needs the departure values. Departure values needs the rule map. which has to sort the rules going in. So I feel like we could move sorted rules into rule map. Rule map rules. So we could say rules equals sorted rules. Or I guess it's sorted rules. And then we don't need to sort the rules going in. So this could just be rules. And it's always rules tickets. So maybe what we could do is because ticket is sort of only needed in certain cases. So let's change the order that these are passed by in. So rules, ticket, other tickets. This can just be other tickets. This can just be tickets all the time. Tickets, ticket. So we're gonna pass by rules ticket. Okay. Now, what we can do is all of these functions that take rules and tickets both, we can just pass in rules and tickets too. And it's always rules tickets, never tickets rules. So let's pass it in rules tickets every time. Okay, and then so rule map, where's rule map? Rule map, so that's rules tickets. Okay, it comes in the same way. Also valid tickets, we should probably filter out, we should make sure it's only valid tickets. Is it still working? No, it's not working, something's broken. T.valid is not a function. Okay, so let's rules tickets. Okay, it's always rules tickets. Excuse me. So departure value is rules tickets. So ticket. And then departure values should be ticket. Okay, still T-valid is upset. Okay, so parse input. So rules, tickets, ticket. Cannot read property values of undefined. On line 80, whatever that is, tickets. So valid indexes, rules tickets. Yeah, this should always be, okay, and ticket. Okay, rules, tickets, ticket. So we're always going to be calling them this order. So we should make sure that we're doing it here. Rules, tickets. Rules, tickets, ticket. Okay, rules, tickets. And rule valid indexes of tickets, so that's fine. Sort by. Rules, tickets, and then map. What is map? Map's an array. I don't know if we even care about map anymore. I don't think we do. Yeah, I don't think we do. We can look at that in a minute. I just want to figure out why this isn't working. Okay, new rules, rule map. So this is going to be new rules, tickets, new map. Still upset. Line 80. So line 80, it's upset here, valid indexes. So where's it calling valid indexes? Here it is with tickets. And so that's where we're calling rule map, and rule map is where we're calling rules tickets map, rules tickets. Okay, so that should be working, but it's not. Still set. Okay, that's coming from 105, which is the next step down. So that's sort by rules, rule, valid index, tickets. So sorted rules, where we're calling sorted rules, it wants tickets as well. Tickets. Okay. And that's 3765. Okay, cool. So that's good. That sort of, I should have done that in the first place just to clear up that confusion. Cool. And what was the thing that we wanted to assert here? It was class is 12, rows 11, and seed is 13. Okay. So it'd be 12, 11, 13. So we want to assert 12 times 11 times 13 equals, I guess, 11 times 12 times 13 is departure product of input of parse input. Oops. We want to assert that is true, and rule valid indexes is not a function because we need to spread it. Okay, empty array with no initial value. Okay, so where's this? 115. So 11 times 12 times 13. So let's find out. I guess this is just not returning a value. No. Reduce of empty array with no initial value. So this is expecting rules tickets ticket is what we should be having. Rules tickets ticket. And that's if we parse the input of parse input. So let's see what parse input is giving us. So it's giving us rules, then tickets, and then a ticket. So what we want oh right, because that's only the departure ones. We don't have departure here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this isn't, I mean, we can't even really do that. That would be for here. Based on nearby tickets in the above example, the first position must be row. Okay. But then we add the caveat that we want the word departure, and then we don't have that. So there's, I mean, there's really nothing that we can assert here. It's kind of annoying. Nothing new to assert necessarily. I mean, we could assert that some of these things work correctly. And maybe if this was going into some sort of a production environment, I would do that. So parse input, it works. My dog barks. Let's see, valid for. Invalid is just the inverse of valid for. Do we use invalid for anymore? We don't. Okay, let's get rid of it. Valid indexes, we do use valid indexes, and this is what saved us a ton of time. Sorted rules, yeah, we did that. I wonder if it's just as fast if we do that. It is, so we actually don't need to skip these because we're sorting the rules on the way in, so it's likely to find them in the right order anyway, which is great. I don't think this makes it, whoops, any faster. I don't think it makes it meaningfully faster at all. Cool, so we just sort by, so this, what this does is it passes the rules in a way where it can order them by, like, this one only applies to one rule, so we're gonna try it in the first spot. And what that does is it allows it to be shifted around the least. So that's kind of cool. I mean, we can leave this in when index in rules, and then we don't need to sort the rules, but I think sorting the rules does help dramatically. I'm going to comment this out for now, and I'm going to leave it out. I don't think we need to filter by valid indexes since we already sort the rules. Sort the rules by cardinality. Is that how you use that word? I think you do. By uniqueness, basically. Okay. So then we get this new rules, new map, and so new map. New map just makes a copy of map, and then we put the rule name in. So this gives us just the rule map. We could pass back the actual rules in order as well. But I mean, this is fine. Okay, sorted rules, departure values. So the departure values, this is when we filter by the word departure, and we get departure indexes. So we get the departure indexes because we want to be like 2, 3, 9, 8 or whatever, 2 or 2, 3, 9, 15. And then we want to get just the ticket values for that. For index in, I mean, we could just do for index in the map and skip the departure indexes variable, but I feel like this is more readable. So we're getting the departure indexes and then we're grabbing the values that match those indexes. Same thing with here with map, we're only referring to it here, so we could just inline that, but I feel like that gets real messy. Okay, departure product just multiplies the array of departure values, and then this is the multi-array that we wrote. So nothing too new to assert, and this is our departure log. So valid for we're still using invalid indexes, and what about ticket.valid? Yeah, we still use it for valid tickets to define valid tickets. So select tickets that validate against the rules. Okay. What could we do in parse input? I wonder if we could clean up parse input at all. Yeah, so this is giving us, so the rules is the rules at the top, and we want to define them. So we could define them here. Ticket is new ticket, tickets map. So let's just coerce values. So this is making a new ticket object for all these tickets, and a new rule object with this definition. And then we're returning them in this order: rules, tickets, ticket. So this is going to be get data lines, and this is going to be initial split. Split into sections. Okay, so split into sections, get data lines, coerce the values, and then return data in the sections. Okay. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I think this is probably as far as we can go. Let's take a look at part 1. We could do the same thing where we can. Let's take a look at this. So 23044 is what we want. So what I wouldn't mind doing is I wouldn't mind having the same parse input for both, which returns them in a different order. And that means that anywhere where we had rules tickets, we need to change to rules tickets ticket. Rules tickets, and this is the error rate. So find invalid value, and we don't care about ticket. We actually just care about that. So rules tickets, and then first invalid fields, parse input, input. Okay, it's breaking. Ticket is not defined. Oh, because right, we never had a ticket class here. So we actually don't need to do those. Okay, assertion false equals true on line 112, which is that 71 is the error rate. Find invalid values, rules, tickets. 14 tickets for val and t, rules, map, numValid val. Okay, and then 26 it was upset about. 26, for example, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so what have I done? So split into sections, rules, ticket, tickets, and then rules, tickets, ticket on the way out. Okay, so coercing the values we don't care about for tickets. Oh, but you know what we did care about is we did care about parse ticketing them. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So equals parse ticket, and then we can map through parse ticket. There we go, 23044. And we don't have parse ticket in this one, do we? Nope, just parse input. And I guess the other thing we can do is we can check to see if all of these underscore things are used. So every is, I don't think any is. So let's see if we can just remove, let's remove a bunch of them and see if we care. Sort by, unique. So what's it angry about? Select. So we were using select. Okay. And then, yeah, okay, so it's just every select and sort by that we're using. Pretty sure we're using sort by. Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, so wow, that was a real doozy, and we got through it. So I'm proud of us. Hooray. Well done us. So that's part 1. It's part 2. It's a lot of functions. And then the input. Okay, so that was day 16, and I am going to have to find the last, so the first part of this, which is this guy. So I'm just trying to find the ID of the YouTube video because I always add this to the README, and I always forget to do it. So I'm going to do it right now. So that was part 16, and that's the YouTube ID. Oops, watch. Same list. Part 15, and that was 16. So 16, and what was the name of it? I guess we're going to find out. It was ticket translation. Oof, that gets a resulting oof from me. That was probably, I probably made it more complex than I needed to. But you know what? It was good. And we got to reuse, well, we got to do a lot of fun stuff that didn't end up making it into the final cut. But yeah, whatever, it's all good. Cool, so add day 16 to README. Thanks everyone who has been watching these and has been sticking around, and especially thank you to everyone who's been giving me pointers and help along the way. Much appreciated, as always. And I will see you again tomorrow for day 17. All right, cool. Until tomorrow, folks.